In the summer of 1995, a group of folks from Sewickley began asking God for guidance in starting a new church, one that was vibrant, welcoming, and unabashedly evangelical.
Sally Dunbar suggested that we need to get together and pray about it. So she said, can we use your house? So the first night there were about 30 people, and we prayed about it. And then every time we had a meeting, which was 2 or 3 times a week, more and more people were coming. And Tom and Cam were very much a part of that, gathering people together and getting them there to the meetings. So the longer we met, the more people that came.
I guess the thing that stands out about the meetings at the Carsons is that the same group of people got together every week to talk about forming a new church.
We had nothing but a group of people who caught a vision for something new and different. And Tom really was the spearhead of that. I have to say that he was a visionary.
As plans came together to form the new church, finding a location for services proved more difficult than anticipated. We were forced to get creative on several occasions.
We were renting the ballroom at the Sewickley Country Inn, and it was getting close to Christmas. And what was happening is that we assumed that we would have the ballroom on Christmas Eve. Well, we discovered that there was no room at the inn. And Tom said, well, no problem, we'll just rent the Majestic.
And we all went down and got on board, and of course we were freezing. It was cold and snowy, but we got on the Majestic. John delivered a tremendous Christmas Eve message, and we were warmed. We were warmed by that whole experience.
Then it came Easter. We rented the soccer arena, and we set up in there for this big service, and we did have quite a few people. And we packed them in, and we realized then that we had something that was going to explode.
At this point, it became obvious that having our own property and building would be essential to the continuation and growth of the new church. At the time, the Verlin Foundation was looking to sell off a piece of their property, which had been given to them by Mrs. Helen Grove.
So John and Tom, I think, made a proposal to Verlin and had Jim Gordon give the proposal to Verlin. And Jim Gordon was beside himself because he couldn't believe that they accepted.
We actually had a tent service up here, I think September of '96, to kind of, because we were preparing to buy the property at the time, and we wanted to show off what it would be like to actually have a service up here.
She wanted the property to be used in the service of the Lord, and because of that, we saw it was a pretty good fit. And apparently, so did everybody else, because here we sit today.
With the property acquired, construction of the original building began. Ernie Pignot, one of the church's founding members, became the construction supervisor, and Dave Doty headed up the architecture committee. Through the vision and dedication of the founding members, the church finally opened its doors in June of 1997.
It became obvious that for what was the 9 o'clock service and then the 11 o'clock service, that we were filling the church up every week. And we even, for a period of time, had an 8 a.m. service. So we were doing 3 services a Sunday just to try to handle the crowd. And so fairly early on, it was obvious that we were growing, and we were probably outgrowing Wilson Hall.
After less than 10 years at Grove Farm, the growth of the church required the addition of a larger sanctuary and a bigger area for children's and student ministries.
It wasn't meant to be a 70 or 80 member church. It was meant to be a very big church, a 7-day-a-week church.
In order to continue to grow the church, Around 2008, we decided that we needed to offer an alternative service to attract a more diverse congregant. And from those conversations, the third service was created. And at some point, we decided that we would honor Pastor Don Wilson, who was a greatly loved individual here on staff. And we named the former sanctuary space Wilson Hall in honor of him.
It's been 20 years, and we couldn't have imagined back then where we would be today, and I can hardly wait to see where we'd be in another 20 years.